The human mind has always been fascinated by theories relating to our existence. Questions such as, are we alone in the universe? Where did we come from? Why are we here? So on and so forth keep us intrigued on our basic existence. The ancient texts of India, such as the four Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, the Puranas and the Upanishads, contain much of the answers we are seeking today. In fact, many scientific minds of the 1900s have drawn inspiration from these eternal texts, from Schrödinger to Einstein to Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the atom bomb, have all acknowledged the profound knowledge in these ancient Hindu texts. Here's a clip of Robert Oppenheimer talking about the Bhagavad Gita.
People cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." I suppose we all thought that one way or another.
Now, let me take you on a journey in cosmic time as per the ancient Hindu scriptures. We as eternal souls have been here from time immemorial, and as per Hindu Vedic scriptures, we take the form of a living entity in a well-structured cosmic time frame based on our karmic records and definitely the will of cosmic time. The Hindu cosmology of time divulges a secret as far as the existence of souls on this planet is concerned, especially for the human species, and how a certain time frame influences human behavior and attitude. The cyclic nature of Hindu cosmology points towards a program pathway which cannot be altered. Now let's consider these programmed cyclic time frames, from the small cyclic time frame to the high cyclic time frame, a revelation that will blow your mind away. The smallest cyclic time frame is called a Chaturyuga, which lasts for 4.32 million human years and is subdivided into 4 sub-periods named Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga and Kali Yuga. Satya Yuga lasting for 17,28,000 human years, Treta Yuga for 12,96,000 human years, Dwapar Yuga for 8,64,000 human years and Kali Yuga for 4,32,000 human years. Beyond the concept of the Chaturyuga is the next higher time frame called a Manvantara, which comprises of 71 Chaturyugas and spans a period of 306 million human years. An interesting fact that draws our attention is the figure of 432 appearing in the time span of a Chaturyuga of 43,20,000 human years and 4.32 billion years, which makes a Kalpa, and which I will discuss later. Probably you could guess it better by understanding the following facts, and it's difficult to conceive why this figure of 432 was attached to a Chaturyuga and a Kalpa. The Sun's diameter is approximately 8,64,000 miles, which is twice of 4,32,000. Some claim 432 Hz is the natural vibration of the universe and brings harmony. The figure of 432 appears in time and mathematics too. There are 86,400 seconds in a day, that's 432 multiplied by 200. 432 appears in Fibonacci and golden ratio-based calculations. In the Great Pyramid of Giza, the perimeter multiplied by 43,200 gives the Earth's equatorial circumference. Decoding of life for human souls in the 4 yugas, namely Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga and Kali Yuga, reveals that the universe on its own accord develops human attributes that are relevant to the yugas. If you were suddenly transported in time to Satya Yuga from Kali Yuga, you would be an entirely different person. All vices in you would disappear. You would become one who is in deep connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and spirituality at the core of your heart. In Satya Yuga, humans were highly virtuous, truthful, and spiritually enlightened. Society was governed by no lies, deceit, or corruption. People lived in harmony with nature, practicing meditation and asceticism. There was no need for organized religion, as people were naturally God-conscious. Lifespans of 50,000 years in the earliest part of Satya Yuga were possible, and people had radiant divine-like bodies. In Satya Yuga, the Siddha mantras were potent enough for fulfillment of desires. If you think this is probably untrue, let's take a look at this clip which shows us in this Kali Yuga there are still yogis who can demonstrate supernatural powers by using Siddha mantras and yogic practice in the correct way. Take a look at this clip showing the renowned fire yogi Rambhau Swamiji. He performs a miraculous feat of sleeping on fire and walking on fire for a considerable period of time, and this clip is part of the BBC archives. He can easily stay in the fire from 5 to 15 minutes at a stretch, which is beyond scientific explanation. The BBC team makes a proper investigation and films him regularly entering the fire. Swami Rambhau discloses part of his technique of how he gets into union with the fire god. Continuously chanting his Siddha mantras and controlling his breath in a specific pattern, he is able to keep his body unharmed. The BBC crew remains stunned to see this miracle occur in front of their eyes. The blazing inferno, sometimes rising tall to 9 feet, deters any other human to stay close to the fire, leave aside jumping into it. This Kali Yuga is not for everyone to lay their hands on such Siddha mantras and unleash powers. The clip ultimately lets you know why people could stay for a longer period of time and achieve lifespans of 50,000 years. Does it mean that Siddha mantras could really extend your lifespan, maybe stopping the degeneration of your DNA? I hope you are somewhat satisfied that Satya Yuga was a period where you could manifest things with your mind and keep yourself rejuvenated. In Satya Yuga, it was much easier for people to liberate themselves from the bondage of life and death, but then too the karmic effects of some souls would hinder their migration to the divine realms. In Treta Yuga, rightness reduces further, but still people could achieve lifespans between 5,000 to 30,000 years. With the advent of Dwapar Yuga, righteousness and spirituality drops significantly, reducing lifespans to a maximum of 1,000 years. Many Indian yogis have lived past 500 years in the Dwapar Yuga and are very well documented. With the onset of Kali Yuga, the real decline in all righteousness, spirituality, moral, ethics and values gain momentum, and by the end of Kali Yuga, lifespans will be reduced to around 20 years. That's what the Vedic texts say. Let me now tell you about the next higher time frame by introducing you to a Kalpa. 14 Manvantaras together make one Kalpa. At the end of a Kalpa, something strange happens, and I am about to reveal the same. If you are all familiar with the Hindu gods Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, then you should know that one single Kalpa is one single day of Lord Brahma. And since Lord Brahma has a lifespan of 100 divine years, it entails that during his lifetime there are 36,000 days, implying 36,000 kalpas of creation, and similarly 36,000 nights, implying another 36,000 kalpas without any creation. The night of Brahma is supposed to be dormant. Lord Brahma's 1 month, consisting of 30 days, equates to 30 kalpas, with each kalpa having a specific name. 30 kalpas in every month keep repeating in a cyclic fashion. The duration of Lord Brahma's life calculates to an enormous time span of 311 trillion human years, and Lord Brahma too dissolves back into Lord Vishnu, and then Lord Vishnu creates another Brahma who will live for another 100 divine years. Now, there have been many Brahmas that have taken birth, And this cyclic repetition of creation of several Brahmas, one after the another, would leave you rather flabbergasted that we as souls existed in each of the innumerable Brahma creations. Remember the eternal truth of the Bhagavad Gita, that the soul is eternal. It always existed. It never dies. Now here's an interesting twist in the tale, where the Vedas proclaim that at a certain time many other Brahmas exist in the universe, pointing to multiple universes and a subtle hint that each is in a different dimension and difficult to notice. We know that scientists have discovered models of extra dimensions beyond our perception of the 3 dimensions we know. Does that mean that the aliens we seek cannot find us, and similarly we cannot find them because of the different dimensional planes that exist? The scriptures say that the yogic minds have powers to travel in these different dimensions, and that's called interdimensional travel. But what is the purpose of these cyclic time frames, starting from the smallest Chaturyuga to an extensively large time frame comprising innumerable Brahmas? Is there something that happens differently in every cyclic time frame? How do these time cycles affect our lives? Where do we go when our material body ceases to exist and we are floating about as souls? In each of these different cyclic timescales, small to big, there is always a period of dormancy, which can extend from a few lakh years in the small cyclic time frame to 311 trillion years in the high cyclic time frame. What's the soul's position during dormancy? Where does it stay? And I'll delve on it a little later. Let me ground you here for a moment to know your position with the present-day Lord Brahma. According to Hindu texts, the current Brahma has completed 50 years of his life, and it's his first day of his 51st year. His first day is a Kalpa named Shvetavaraha Kalpa. If I would clarify our position in this Kalpa, we are in the 7th Manvantara and in the 28th Chaturyuga, and presently in the Kali Yuga, where around 5,000 years have passed in the time frame of Kali Yuga, which lasts for 4,32,000 human years. Don't jump to the conclusion that the earth is a nice place to live for the next 4,27,000 years. Remember, there is a dormant phase at the end of Kali Yuga, and I'll be delving on this subject in one of my next videos. I am now catapulting you into the high realms of thought which rarely any person has ever traversed. You could be the lucky one going deep into space and time. You have often heard of words like dissolution and annihilation of the universe. Many are accustomed to the Sanskrit words pralay and mahapralay, implying partial and total dissolution. When we are in any kalpa, the souls can exist in different astral planes during the changeover from yuga to yuga and manvantara to manvantara. It's the dormancy period that exists between them, as I mentioned earlier. Those who have attained liberation due to their spiritual attributes stay in the realms of higher dimension like Swargaloka, Vaikuntha, Kailasha or Brahmaloka till the end of a kalpa. The normal souls move on to staying in other astral dimensions whenever they leave their body. During the end of every Chaturyuga, that is the end of Kali Yuga, all life ceases and all souls travels to the designated astral dimensions as per the karmic records, and thereafter to be born again in the next yuga carrying along their past karma. A cosmic force induces the cessation of life at the end of every Chaturyuga, but the earth pretty much stays in its place. But what happens at the end of a kalpa is something strange to hear. At the end of a kalpa, particularly the day of Brahma spanning 4.32 billion years, pralaya, partial dissolution, comes into play, and all the souls enter into the divine called Atman and reside there. This Atman is part of Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All forms of matter, including the sun, planets, moons, and other cosmic matter that exists in our solar system, transforms into energy and station themselves in that Atman. The soul is attributed to having consciousness, and imagine the power of all conscious energy of all souls put together, plus the energy of transformed matter which gets stored in that extremely small Atman. This conscious energy is called Chi Shakti energy. The other energy that is required for recreation again is called Chaitya Shakti, which is a reflection of Chi Shakti. After a dormancy of 4.32 billion years, which implies the night time of Lord Brahma, creation begins again, and the expansion of our universe takes place. If we count the time frame from one creation to the next, it will mean the passing of one day and one night of Lord Brahma, and that's around 8.6 billion years, and it very well correlates with modern science. This entails that the solar system, which includes our Earth, is formed every time in 8.6 billion years. Let me now delve on what happens during a Mahapralaya, which signals the end of Lord Brahma's life, which spans 311 trillion human years. The entire cosmic universe of trillions and trillions of stars, planets, galaxies, even beyond what our telescopes can see, will convert back to energy and get stored in the Atma. At this point, there is no space and time, no laws of physics that can be applied. Our Vedic scriptures have already ascertained the principle of energy to matter and matter to energy. It is not surprising to know that the classic equation of Einstein, which proves mass can be converted to energy and vice versa, is a relatively new concept. What scientists term as singularity of the universe, which existed before the Big Bang and led to the formation of the universe, is explained in a more detailed way in our ancient texts, and in particular the brilliant treatise written by the revered sage Bharadwaj called Amshu Bodhani, which provides deeper insights into the science of evolution of the universe. The Amshubodhani text, written by the revered sage Bharadwaja, is one of the few surviving manuscripts mentioning how this universe arises from singularity. You will notice the similarity of cosmic knowledge in Vedic science and modern science. Sage Bharadwaj gives a stunning revelation on creation. Let's understand the singularity of space from his perspective when nothing exists. Singularity in modern science refers to an extremely small point that holds an energy so vast that it created this universe. Can you believe that water in our great oceans and seas existed as energy in the primordial state? This is confirmed by modern science and is very well documented by sage Bharadwaja, who refers it as Vidyut Jala, or water as electric field. The Amshubodhini is a revered text in Hindu philosophy that delves into the intricate processes of cosmic creation. It emphasizes the interplay between two fundamental energies, Chi Shakti and Chaitya Shakti, which I have discussed before. Let's delve deeper into understanding Chi Shakti and Chaitya Shakti, the primordial discs. Chi Shakti is often referred to as the consciousness energy. Chi Shakti represents the dynamic active force of the universe. It embodies the principle of pure consciousness and is considered the source of all creative impulses. Chaitya Shakti, known as the reflective consciousness, acts as a mirror to Chi Shakti. It is the respective aspect reflecting and manifesting the creative energies of Chi Shakti into structured forms. The two energies then enter a Agnisoma Mandala, where the two energies spin at an incredible rate, causing the Agnisoma Mandala to separate. The Agnisoma Mandala is a profound concept in Vedic cosmology and esoteric Hindu philosophy. It represents the balance of two fundamental cosmic forces, Agni, fire, and Soma, nectar or moon, which govern creation, sustenance, and dissolution in the universe. Let me give you a direct quote of the Sanskrit translation of sage Bharadwaja's text by the renowned scholar Panditji T. Subbarao Shastri from his book that was printed in the year 1931. They, then mingling with the light of Atma, enter into Agnishoma Mandala very rapidly, just as birds enter into their nests. Afterwards they, by their mere presence, divide the mixture of Agnishoma powers of the globe into two with Soma and Agni, and locate the former at the left side and the latter at the right side of that Agnishoma globe. Thereupon, according to the 20th axiom, these two powers begin to revolve separately, each making 1,08,03,300 revolutions per second. The rapidity of the revolution of these Agni and Soma powers in the Agni-Soma Mandala, Chi Shakti, on account of its contact with the former, also gets a slight agitation, Ishat Spandana. It is a slight agitation thus produced in Chi Shakti that is referred to as Chaitya Shakti in the above aphorism. It is natural to Chi Shakti by virtue of the fiction of its hot waves to give rise to three kinds of power, just like fire. Chi Shakti is of two kinds, viz. Lohiba red and Chapala. The former is said to be masculine and the latter feminine. The masculine power is also known as Tapana, by virtue of it having the property of burning. Further, it is motionless, very hot, indestructible, very subtle, sukshma, and capable of pervading everywhere. The feminine power, on the other hand, is in the form of heat emitted out of Tapana or masculine power. By the mere presence of this masculine power, excessive heat is produced in the feminine power, which is already in the form of heat, thereby giving rise to 311 fine waves per second in all directions. By the friction of these waves with each other, three kinds of motion are naturally produced in Chi Shakti, just as in fire. This is the explanation of the 23rd axiom. Let me stop the direct translation here, as it gets too comprehensive to be covered in a small video like this. But you must understand that our Vedic knowledge also discloses the formation of a dense heated plasma state that correlates with our modern scientific view and ultimately the creation of matter. The book explains the various energies generated during the process of the creation of the universe. It delves intricately on the values of those different energies and which particular energy shaped a certain creation. The book puts you in a trance as you uncover the secrets of the universe never heard before. In another video, I will explain how the first atoms were produced and how ultimately our planets, etc. were formed. The ancient texts often refer to a primary source of creation called the golden egg or Hiranyagarbha, which is the seed of creation. This golden egg is also referred to as Brahmanda. Once you are able to understand the subtle difference between Agni Soma and Brahmanda, you are on the path of understanding creation. Let's have a recap on this. How are they connected? The Agni Soma Mandala represents the process of fusion, energy transformation that leads to creation. Hiranyagarbha symbolizes the outcome, the cosmic egg that incubates and gives birth to the universe. In some interpretations, the Agni-Soma Mandala's balanced forces create the conditions for the golden egg to form and hatch into creation. So while Agni-Soma focuses on energetic duality and balance, Hiranyagarbha represents the singular seed of creation that results from that balance. From the equilibrium established in the Agni-Soma Mandala, the process of material creation unfolds. The initial manifestations are the subtle elements sound, touch, form, taste and smell. Then comes the cross elements, Mahabhutas. These subtle elements combine to form the five gross elements, ether, space, air, fire, water and earth. The cross elements further combine to create various cosmic structures including galaxies, stars and planets. Finally, the combination of these elements leads to the emergence of life forms, each embodying a unique blend of the cosmic energies. This sequence illustrates the transition from pure consciousness to tangible matter, highlighting the interconnectedness of all aspects of the universe. The teachings of the Amshubodhini offer profound insights into the nature of existence, emphasizing the delicate balance between the opposing forces and the cyclical nature of creation. The cosmic egg, Hiranyagarbha, in Hindu cosmology is not just limited to creating the solar system. It represents the origin of the entire universe. According to Hindu scriptures, the universe emerged from this golden egg, which was associated with Lord Vishnu in his formless state as Narayana. The Brahmanda, cosmic egg, concept suggests that everything in existence, planets, stars, galaxies, and all cosmic structures originated from it. From a Vedic perspective, the cosmic egg expands, similar to the modern Big Bang theory, creating multiple worlds, lokas, time cycles, yugas, and infinite realms. The Purusha Sukta of the Rig Veda describes the cosmic being Purusha, whose body forms the entire universe. The Vishnu Purana and Bhagavata Purana also describe multiple universes, Brahmandas, emerging from Lord Vishnu's divine energy. So, the Hiranyagarbha does not just create the solar system, but extends as far as our telescopes can see and beyond, covering the entire cosmos and multiple parallel universes. In modern cosmological terms, this aligns with the inflationary universe model, where the universe expands from a singular point, much like the concept of the cosmic egg breaking open. Hindu scriptures like the Bhagavata Purana and Vishnu Purana describe the concept of infinite Brahmandas, cosmic eggs, each containing countless galaxies and stars. Interestingly, Maharshi Bharadwaj gives other stunning revelations, and I quote directly from the book. On the surface of water, in the form of electricity, present in the Avyakta Panjara, there exists a countless number of paths on all sides to accommodate the Brahmandas. One of them is Kundalini, which is like a straight bar of iron, and throughout it is accommodated many crores of Brahmandas, just like nuts and fruits in the branches of a glomerous fig tree, from the bottom to the top. Of these several Brahmandas in Kundalini, the Svetavaraha Kalpa Brahmanda of today bears the serial number of 15th crore from the Avyakta Kendra, Kendra meaning center, as calculated by expert mathematicians of yore. Stopping the translation here, I want you to understand that there are different pathways of creation and propagation of the golden egg. Sage Bharadwaj mentions that in another pathway called the Kurmi Dhruvi Kendra, the present cosmic egg is 50 crores 1,03,100 from the Kurmi Dhruvi Kendra Mukha. It's mind-boggling to understand how such detailed calculations were done and how many times we have entered into the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. The number 50 crore in the work of Maharishi Bharadwaj, Amshubodhani, may refer to a specific hierarchical count of major universal cycles rather than a limitation on the total number of universes. Vishnu's cosmic vision, as seen by Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, revealed countless universes within each pore of Vishnu's body, suggesting the number of universes is truly infinite. The discovery of trillions of stars and galaxies does not contradict Hindu cosmology, because the single Brahmanda cosmic egg already contains trillions of celestial bodies. The Brahmanda cosmic egg expands and gives rise to multiple galaxies, stars and planets at the same time. The Vishnu Purana and Bhagavata Purana mention countless Brahmandas, universes, each containing many cosmic forms. While many galaxies are formed at the same time, new galaxies continue to form even today. Some are older and some are younger, depending on when their stars and cosmic structures began evolving. Thus, when our Milky Way galaxy was forming, many other galaxies were also forming. But the process of galaxy formation is continuous and ongoing in the ever-expanding universe. The Hindu Vedic texts describe multiple Brahmandas, cosmic eggs, floating like bubbles within the infinite waters of Karanodaka, the casual ocean. Lord Vishnu, Mahavishnu, lies in this ocean, and from each breath of his, countless universes, cosmic eggs, emerge and dissolve. If taken literally, this means our entire universe, Brahmanda, is one of many floating in an infinite expanse beyond human perception. Coming to the concept of cosmic dissolution, it is similar to some scientific theories about the universe's end, such as the Big Crunch, where the universe collapses back into a singularity. Heat death, where entropy causes everything to dissolve into an energy state. Hindu texts describe energy, Shakti, Prakriti, transforming into matter, Stula, and then dissolving back into pure cosmic energy at the end of cycles. The Rig Veda describes creation as a gradual emergence from the unmanifest, Avyakta, to the physical. The Bhagavata Purana states that Vishnu's Mahashakti, cosmic energy, transforms into elements, Mahabhuta, step by step, forming the galaxies and stars. During Mahaparalaya, all matter dissolves into its subtle form, first into cosmic elements, Tanmatras, then into Prakriti, and finally into Atma, all referred to as Brahman. Bhagavata Purana states that this process takes time, but is faster than human perception, possibly near instantaneous at higher cosmic levels. In the Brahma Vaivarta Purana and Bhagavata Purana, there is a famous story where Lord Krishna calls multiple Brahmas from different universes. Each one has a different number of heads, some with 10, 100 or even 1,000 heads, signifying the vast and infinite nature of creation. This shows that Brahmas exist in countless universes and that the cycle of creation is endless. In some Puranas, there are references to Lord Brahma experimenting with creation. Initially, he is said to have created various forms, some of which were distorted or monstrous. This is similar to how evolution brings forth different species over time. Some of these early beings were imperfect and were later replaced by more refined creations. Could this be a revelation to the presence of dinosaurs before the beginning of this Kalpa? Assuming that we are in the 7th Manvantara and in the 28th Chatu Yuga, which points to a timescale of around 120 million years, is it possible that Lord Brahma created dinosaurs and other strange reptilians before the 7th Manvantara began, and then decided to wipe them out to create us? Think and ponder over it. Describe ancient human civilizations that became highly advanced but eventually perished due to their arrogance, misuse of power, or divine intervention. The Mahabharata and Bhagavata Purana talk about previous civilizations that reached great heights of wisdom and technology but eventually destroyed themselves. Let me now end this video with a question that lies unanswered. According to Vedic knowledge, cycles of dissolution, pralaya, and annihilation are necessary for several profound reasons, all rooted in the cosmic order and spiritual evolution. Here's why. Balance and renewal. The universe, like everything in nature, follows a cycle of creation, maintenance, and dissolution similar to birth, life, and death in living beings. Without dissolution, stagnation would occur, and evolution, both material and spiritual, would be hindered. Karmic reset and liberation. From a spiritual perspective, pralaya allows the dissolution of accumulated karma. It offers a pause in material existence, giving souls a chance to transition to higher planes or merge with the supreme moksha. Cleansing of adharma, unrighteousness. As time progresses, dharma, righteousness, declines, especially in Kali Yuga, where ignorance and materialism dominate. Dissolution acts as a reset button, clearing negativity and making way for fresh creation, where dharma can be restored. Infinite cosmic breaths of Brahma. The universe is said to expand and contract like the breath of Lord Brahma. Just as we inhale and exhale, creation and dissolution are part of the cosmic rhythm. One kalpa of 4.32 billion years is a day of Brahma, and when he sleeps, the universe dissolves partially. Naimittika pralaya. When he dies, the entire cosmic manifestation dissolves completely. Mahapralaya. Vedic cosmology suggests multiple universes exist simultaneously, each undergoing different cycles. Dissolution in one universe does not mean the end of all creation, but rather the transition of energy into a new form elsewhere. Even modern physics suggests the universe may follow cyclic models of expansion and contraction. Big Bang and the Big Bang crunch theories. The concept of entropy, gradual decay, and disorder aligns with the Vedic idea. Conclusion. Dissolution in Vedic knowledge is not destruction for destruction's sake. It is a necessary phase in the grand cosmic cycle of existence. It ensures that creation remains dynamic, karma gets resolved, and the souls continue their journey towards higher consciousness. The Vedic theories of space, time, matter, cyclic yugas, dissolution, cycle of life and death, consciousness, and more allow us to contemplate on our existence. If we can pick up the subtle cues of life and understand we are here to stay and will always be a part of this cosmic existence, and that we are part of the supreme divinity, then maybe we can mend our ways till we are born again. Thank you very much.